Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Leftover Cake Chat. We are going to try to get Kristen to join here in a second. As usual on a Sunday morning, we've had technical difficulties, so we are back to Facebook Live, since Be Live is not working for us again. Well, Kristen's here, so good morning, Gail. Good morning, Laura. Kristen, I see you. I don't have an option to add you. I can add Gail or I can add Larissa, but I don't have an add button for Kristen. Well, we are talking about send-off breakfast or brunches this morning, the morning after your wedding. And we're a few minutes early to try to get both of us on. Kristen was by herself last week. Oh, there's an add button for Kristen. We are adding, maybe. This is adding.
Hi, can you hear me? See me? Let's toast to that. Technical difficulties every Sunday.
We are
Cheers.
here.
You look like you're cold.
I am freezing. I think the last time I looked it was 56 degrees. So, but I do have my Key West on.
Well, happy Sunday. I'm glad you're back. I was solo last weekend. That was awkward.
You did pretty good. It was kind of interesting just chatting with yourself. I can imagine that being a little weird.
Well, I do talk to myself a lot, in this business. So I kind of already had brunch this morning, so I totally spaced it. I could have actually just eaten brunch live, but instead, we just have cake. So holy coconut cake this morning.
Oh my goodness, that looks amazing. So our topic is send-off breakfast and brunches this morning. I have this amazing chocolate chip muffin.
Yum. That looks really good.
It is huge, guys. Absolutely huge. The size of my plate, bigger than most of the pieces of cake that we have. And the dynamic duo. Yes, we are, Larissa. Especially when we can get together on technology.
Yeah, I can't see any of the comments, but I'm not going to touch my phone because then I'll probably disappear.
Yeah, please don't do that.
So brunches, very popular for the day after the wedding. People get together for one last really party before everyone heads home. We've seen a lot: Bloody Mary bars, mimosa bars, leftover wedding cake.
Leftover
Hello. But it just, when you're planning them, make sure you're telling people in advance so that they can, if it's a destination wedding, for sure, so that they can make their travel plans around it. We've had people come up and say, oh my God, we're so bummed. We're going to miss brunch. We got to get to the airport. You can include them by doing some to-go containers as well, starting your brunch, a little earlier than you thought, but try to plan it in advance like everything else so that people can actually enjoy it with you.
Yeah, and I think the most popular time to start it that we've seen is 10 o'clock. It allows people to sleep in a little bit. Most of the time you're up super late. Maybe, hopefully people will take a shower. We've seen how many people just like roll out of bed in whatever clothes they had on and just show up to the breakfast, even starting at 10. But 10 o'clock is a pretty good start time. So 10 to 12, we have seen people do it a little bit earlier if they're leaving early. But I really wouldn't start it earlier than 9. Kristen mentioned the Bloody Mary bar or the mimosas. Having unlimited mimosas, your guests will love you. It will be something that they will just, be enjoying. We have our champagnes in the mornings on Sundays, so they will definitely enjoy that. And with the mimosas, you can mix it up. You don't have to do just the traditional orange juice. You can have, different fruit juices and stuff like that mixed with the champagne as well.
Absolutely. And I think too, it's important that, especially if you're doing a tent, So if you're already paying for a tent for the weekend at a venue, we can just change it up. You can use the same space, but make it look differently by changing out linens, changing how the layout was. If you had, everyone kind of seated in assigned seating, obviously brunch, you can just be open seating. You can reuse those centerpieces that you actually already paid for, because other than that, they're probably going to get thrown out, or we do try to donate it when we can. But it's just a good way to maximize all of your spend, with your rentals and your flowers and everything else.
Absolutely. And I think, cross utilizing some of that, even if you had like a welcome reception the night before and you're using colored linens for that, you can switch out. Some of those linens will be reusable for the Sunday morning, especially on like food station tables or something like that. I would definitely offer a variety of food for your guests. Definitely having some of the greasier options is a good thing.
Suck up that alcohol from the night before.
Yes, absolutely. We have seen a lot of people order from like local bakeries, really amazing donuts and things of that nature. So, hold on. There's a question. I have to read it, but I have to get close, and I have to hold the iPad because the wind is like shaking it. So if it just falls over something weird on the screen, it's a little breezy out here.
Super pretty up there, though. You have a beautiful backdrop.
It is gorgeous. Yeah, it's so incredibly green. Thank you, Carrie, for fixing the correction, because I was thinking fans as in like an actual fan. So is this a fad or a new expectation? Does the bride and groom have to be there, or just offering for the guests?
We've seen it both ways. If the bride and groom are leaving early, sometimes they just offer the brunch, or parents host brunch, in kind of their honor for people traveling. I think it's really popular for a destination wedding. I don't think traditional weddings typically have a scheduled day after, unless it's just to get together with family. But I think in destination weddings, people ask people to travel over the course of 3 or 4 days and feel like that they should entertain them over the course of 3 or 4 days. So I think it's something that's happened a lot for destination weddings, but I think it might become somewhat of a fad for a traditional wedding.
And I think too, if you have a lot of family and friends traveling from, different parts to you, even if you're not the one traveling for a destination wedding, but you have a lot of people traveling to you, you can also host it. It doesn't have to be at the venue that you had your wedding. It could be in someone's backyard. It could be on a porch. It could be, in the corner of a, restaurant that you guys always go to that's open for breakfast that maybe has a private room in the back. So there's lots of different options for that. Again, weddings are all about getting together. It's about celebrating with friends and family, and the more that you can do that in that time frame is, better. It's more fun. It's more memories, more pictures, more laughter, more amazing, great food. I can't this chocolate chip muffin. Like I can't even eat it right now because you guys would just be like, really? She eats like hometown.
Yeah, you can also, if your photographer's staying on or your videographer's staying on, you can grab some more photos or video coverage of groups together, just to have that whole kind of weekend celebration on film or pictures, to hold on to. Because a lot of times family only gets together on special occasions. So, people turn that into like family reunion photo shoots, and it's a good way to kind of do that, especially if you've got a real pretty backdrop.
And if you are having this catered, just like every other event, you want to make sure that you put this on the RSVPs, because what's going to happen is your caterer, whoever's providing the food, is going to ask you how many people are going to be there. Not everyone is going to be able to make the send-off breakfast, just like not everyone is going to be able to make the rehearsal dinner. There goes the iPad again. Did you see me shaking?
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for it to tip over. So definitely put it on your RSVPs because people want to, you want to know who's coming. You don't want to pay for so many extra people that aren't going to be there for the send off breakfast, but at the same time, you don't want to run out of food either. So definitely get the RSVPs for the send off breakfast, include it in the invitations on the RSVPs. That way people know about it. They can plan their travel around it, as well as you have a better idea of who is actually going to be attending. You will still have those few people that are going to be like, you know what, we're not going to make it up, or their plane gets delayed, or something like that happens. You're going to have somebody, show up last minute. It happens. You're also going to have that person that does not make it out of bed. They just
And sometimes that could be the bride and groom.
Yeah, sometimes that could be the bride and groom. But if you entice them with the Bloody Mary bar or the unlimited mimosas, you'll probably have everyone.
And we talked a little bit about to-go containers. So if you do have people running out the door, provide coffee for sure with cups and lids, and just little to-go boxes where they can at least eat on the way to the airport if they need to.
And if possible, make sure you ask the venue or the location what the to-go boxes will be. We want them environmentally friendly, biodegradable, or recycled materials if available. We want to stay away from the styrofoam, people. Sorry.
Don't be sorry. That's good.
I always
I'll drink to that.
Why are they still selling it? Definitely go green, guys. We've talked about it in all aspects of the wedding. To-go containers are no different.
And it's kind of where Leftovercakechat, we dreamt that up, right? So there's so much wedding cake left over that the dessert at Brunches became leftover wedding cake, which is how we came out with Leftovercakechat, because what else happens at brunch? Everyone sits around and talks about Uncle Bill's dance moves on the dance floor after, a one too many Manhattans. People sitting around chatting about what happened at the wedding weekend. So that's how we found ourselves here, eating leftover wedding cake, drinking champagne, and laughing about Uncle Bill.
We all have an Uncle Bill. and we enjoy watching all of your Uncle Bills.
Yes, very much. And then laughing, yes, and when Uncle Bill doesn't show up for the brunch, we all know why.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So what else at brunch? Try to think with your menu to not include things that obviously you'd had on your menu the night before. Like if you had prime rib for dinner, you probably don't want to have prime rib for brunch. Mm-hmm. You have to take into consideration to all of the same. If you had allergies or special requests for the wedding dinner, you obviously have to carry those over into the brunch as well. So it is like planning another mini wedding. But most people like planning their wedding with us, so they get to just plan another event with us.
There you go. And if you need wedding services or assistance with contracts or finding locations, recommendations for vendors, anything that we can do to assist, it doesn't have to be a wedding. We just did a birthday party a couple weeks ago. We do corporate events. So anything like that, event-wise, that we can assist with, go to swivelgroupevents.com. Events does have an S on it. There's something flying around, so if my eyes are wandering, I'm waiting for it to land on me.
Well, you know me, I'd be screaming and running by now, so you did much better than I did.
So www.swivelgroupevents.com. If you want to see any of our blogs or anything like that, go to swivelgroupevents.com/leftovercakechat. Kristen, also, we want to mention this morning pilot.dog. That is our love mission of the month. So definitely look at their website. There's information on our website. If you are not familiar with our love mission of the month, basically what we do is we take an organization that rescues and helps dogs, and we spotlight them. We want to make sure that we are adopting and not shopping. We are dog lovers. I think between Brittany, Kristen, and I, we have 8.
I think 8.
Yeah. So we have 8 dogs, 7 or 8. I'm not sure how many Brittany has now. She just visited another location, so she could have taken another one home.
Oh boy.
But yeah, anything that you guys need event-wise, we are happy to help. We are here. There's all sorts of services that we can provide, from individual services, suggestions, options, some guidance, to day of, month of, and full service. So we are here for whatever events you need. Anything
All
else?
right.
Did I miss anything?
I think that's it. I think we survived one more Sunday with technology issues, but that always helps to have champagne to make that happen. So cheers to you up there in New York. It looks pretty. Keep that sweatshirt on.
Oh, I know. I'm just going to raise this so you can see.
So pretty.
It is gorgeous. It's so green. I said my senses are in shock because of how green it is up here. But it's beautiful. It's cold, but it's beautiful. And Gail, we did see the movie theater that we can bring our dog to. If you guys did not see that, look at our Facebook page for Swivel Group Events. It is shared on there, and you can see all the information. So you can go to the movies with your pup and watch.
I don't think Paisley would sit through a movie.
Yeah, Lola, if there's an animal on screen, Lola will sit there and watch the entire thing. So she would be a good candidate for that.
That's awesome. All right. Well, happy Sunday. Talk to you next week.
All right, sounds good. Cheers, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.